Club India and your moderator for today's webinar. Since CPA and CMA are one of the most sought after courses in the finance sector, we are having this live Q&A for you guys to clear all your doubts. So today's webinar is to discuss all the queries regarding CPA and CMA. The speaker for today is Mr. Shripal Jain. Shripal Jain is the co-founder of Simandhar Education LLP. He's awarded with the Best Edupreneur of Telangana State 2018 and holds a Chartered Accountant and CPA USA degree. He's a visiting faculty at GITAM, CTARA, Centralized Training Academy for Railways, and ICAI. He has industry experience of over 7 years in audit, corporate finance, IFRS, GAAP, ICFR finance. He's a national instructor at one of the leading training institutes in India. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. A quick disclaimer for the audience: this is going to be a question and answer webinar, and hence you can put your questions in the chat box, and we will be taking it one by one. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Prachi, that for a warm introduction. Before I start picking up the Q&A, I'll just kind of brief about what is USCP and USCMA course. So, as you know, guys, I'll just share my screen if you can see that, Prachi.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as you see that, so US CPA is like how we have in India, the chartered accountants. The US chartered accountants are known as CPAs, which is certified public accountants. And the US cost, like we have in India, cost accountants. The US cost accountants are known as US CMAs, which is certified management accountants. Now, why is there a requirement for both of these qualification is very simple. As you see that a lot of the US companies are coming to India. Already we have tons of US companies operating in India, like Apple, Cognizant, Capgemini. You have all the big fours, Deloitte, EY, KPMG, PwC. You had Video Rise coming up now in India. You have also Grant Thornton now. So with so many US firms coming up in India and expanding their global delivery operations here, right? So the opportunities are tremendous. And thanks to the COVID thing, where a lot of the shared services work is now getting transferred to India. And that's where we see that the US based qualifications are in demand now, and the hiring have been actually on a rise for these qualifications. So if you see that there are a lot of opportunities for professional accountants, like there are changes in technology, accounting standards, there are a lot of these changes. Because of that, there are tons of opportunities, and we do have shortage in skilled accountants. We still have a lot of the BCom, CA semi-qualifieds, or you say CA intermediates, and who have not completed the chartered accountancy. And this is a good add-on for them to have a US CPA or a US CMA course, thereby making it more appealable for them to apply for the companies. If you see that the employment of the accountants and auditors, they are expected to grow by 10% between 2016 and 2026. That is the faster than average. So outlook is best with the college degree and professional certification, especially a certified public accountants. Now AICPA typically, which is the body like we have in India, Indian Chartered Accountancy, which is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. The US CPA is typically being governed by AICPA, which is American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So they have estimated that approximately 75% of its members will be eligible to retire by 2020. I put two stars. Now with 2021 coming up, so we see that a lot of the opportunities are going up in US, and that's where we see that the US CPA and CMA are much in demand. One is the global recognition because of the MRAs, which are being signed with a lot of the uh, accounting bodies in Canada, in Singapore, in Australia. So you don't need to really write any exam after you pass US CPA. So thereby you have a global recognition, higher salary. So that's where you see that there are a lot of these things which are coming up, right? So employers typically look for US CPA and US CMA. So that's where we see that there is a demand, relatively shorter time to complete, unlike our Indian qualifications, which typically take around 3 to 4 years. USCP and USCMA doesn't take much time, so it's like 8 to 9 months, which we are able to complete. That is the minimal time, but the average time typically take around 12 to 13 months. And there is a reciprocity between AICPA, NASBA, and other accounting professional bodies like CPA Canada, CA Australia, New Zealand, ICA Scotland, Hong Kong Institute of CPA. So that's all I had about the introduction, and now the main agenda is Q&A. So I'll talk less and I'll give it to the students or the professionals who have queries on the US CPA and the US CMA, and we can take it up accordingly. Prachi, thank you so much.
So we already have questions.
Yeah. So would you take it up, Prachi, or should I take that up?
So anything would be fine with me. I mean, according to your convenience.
Okay, so I will just take it up if that's fine, because
Okay,
but
sir.
I'm not able to see some of the questions. So if you are able to see, then we can do like that. If you want to take it up, and then I can answer it accordingly.
So anything would be fine for me. I can also take the questions for you.
So I would request if you can take it up because I'm
Okay,
not
sir.
able to see some of them. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the first question is, can I do CPA after CMA?
Okay, so this is one very important question is that after US CMA or Indian CMA, I am assuming that question is silent, whether it's an Indian CMA or US CMA. So can I do after that CPA? Definitely yes, because see what happens is the CMA kinds of give the exposure in the financial planning and analysis profile. But with CPA, the opportunities become diverse because now you're exposed to various other profiles also, not only with respect to FP&A, but you will get opportunities on audit and tax. Typically, your CMA or the US CMA doesn't cover auditing in detail or taxation in detail. So that's why your CPA qualification would give you more job opportunities, and there will be a diverse profiles also. Not that you're restricted only to financial planning and analysis, but then your exposure kind of you can cover up more other profiles also, like audit, tax, consulting, accounting advisory. So these are some of the top profiles what we have in Big Four today, right? And that's where you would get more job opportunities after CMA if you do the US CPA, right? And Indian CMA also by default they cover direct and indirect taxes. I'm not telling that they don't cover that, assuming that the question is silent on Indian CMA or US CMA. So still Indian CMA cover taxation part, but that doesn't cover US tax and all. So it doesn't cover US audit or US tax, and that's where a CPA would definitely make the job opportunities to increase like good by good numbers. Yeah, Praj.
Yes. So the second question is there any training period in CPA just like other professional courses?
So the training period typically, if you want to say that for a CPA course to complete, normally it takes around 10 months to 11 months. That's what I was mentioning. So the training period typically would range in 8 to 9 months. So that's where we normally train for USCP and Simandar Education, being the Becker partner. So we typically take around 8 months. So roughly that would be around four subjects. So in CPA you have only four sections. In CMA you have only two sections. Unlike chartered accountancy and other exam, you have 20, 21 subjects. In CPA, the subjects are very less and it's a single level exam. Unlike the other Indian courses, which is being bundled into three stages, here you have a one stage single level program with only four subjects. So that's where the training period doesn't take more than 1 year. I think 9 to 10 months should be comfortably fine. So taking one section, 2.5 months roughly for each section, I think you should be done with the entire CPA course. And CMA it should take around 8 months. So 2 months per section, 2 months per section, and then you do a revisions and all. So overall, there are two sections in USCMA. So I think you should be able to complete it in within a time span of 8 months.
Uh, so the next question is, what are exactly the examination pattern and how can we get the material to study?
Okay, so by default, the US courses, right? So they don't have material or the content, right? They normally give you a blueprint. So normally, when you want to purchase when you want to access the literature, right, the study materials, it is given through the course review providers. Like at Simandar, we are actually tied up with Becker. So you get the Becker materials and the Becker products. So Becker has been there in the market since last 70 years. So they have a success rate of almost 90%, right? So we follow their materials. but we drive our lectures and all. So only for the materials purposes we will follow the Becker product. So they give the content and all, right? And the pattern is, as I have said you, that CPA has only four subjects, which is financial accounting reporting is the first section, auditing is the second section, regulation is the third section, and fourth section is BEC. So financial accounting reporting, which is the first section, deals with US GAAP, IFRS. Auditing deals with normal US based audit, and regulation deals with US taxation, and BEC deals with the corporate finance, IT, and all other aspects. So that's where these are the four sections which are covered. The materials are typically provided, not provided by AICPA like we have in ICI gives the study materials, right? So here we don't have any body which gives the materials. The review course providers prepare the material. As you see that CPA exam pattern is 50% multiple choice questions and 50% descriptive or simulation, which is a case law based pattern. So they'll give you a big case law and then they will tell you to answer. Like our ICI also have migrated now to 30% case study, like we have in auditing, law, and all. And in CPA, that is 50% case study. So 50% MCQ, 50% case study. That case study is a open book literature. So you can access the open book and solve the answers and all. But again, I'm telling you, it's not easy. Right?
So the next question is, currently I'm preparing for CA final. I want to work in finance field and probably not in audit. Whether doing CPA be beneficial and what kind of work will I be getting in India?
So that's a very, very good question, because a lot of them are doing CPA just because exam is in India. So previously it was used to be conducted in US and in Dubai. And to be honest, a lot of them don't know why are they doing CPA also. So we normally have our mentoring sessions when we enroll the students, because we want them to understand what is the importance of this qualification. And that's why I have been taking a lot of these sessions on this. So after US CPA, the typically profiles are accounting, advisory, audit, right, corporate finance, business finance. So you can go into the FP&A role, you can go into the corporate finance role. So but all this you will get only in US companies which are operating in India. So you can't get opportunity in Indian companies because they follow Indias, which is a replica of IFRS. So we have converged with IFRS. Still there are a lot of carve in and carve outs with our Indias and the IFRS. But still, I would say that US CPAs doesn't enjoy good job opportunities in India. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for me being an Indian company employing a US CPA, because I don't even follow US standards, right? Unless and until the subsidiary is listed there. Like for an example, Infosys, right? Infosys is listed in Nasdaq. Wipro is listed in NYSE. So they follow US GAAP and IFRS. For them, it makes sense to hire a US CPA there. So they typically hire them into the corporate finance role, in the mergers, acquisitions profile, and they also hire in the business finance profile. So that's where we are seeing a lot of the companies now giving equal opportunities. So they are equating chartered accountancy to be a US CPA. So that's why the respect from the industry is tremendous for US CPA, because please understand AICPA is the strongest accounting body in the world today with 8,35,000 members. So next is our India, which is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India with highest member base. So that's where CPA has a tremendous respect in the world. And if there are US companies, like there's so many companies US here operating, like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Deloitte, EY, and all, as I've already discussed before, Capgemini, Cognizant. We are seeing Tesla coming up, a lot of global delivery offices coming up. Apple have opened their manufacturing operations in Chennai. So we see that a lot of the companies from US have already started operating. Top 20 CPA firms of US have already opened their services here in India. So that is enough to talk about CPA and CMA qualifications here, I would say.
Oh, okay. So our next question is, in April I will be going to start articleship in audit field and will be completing BCom honors from DU. Will CPA be beneficial if I want to opt for finance field after CPA?
Definitely yes, because if you see that a lot of the shared service operations, they are operating in finance only. So when we tell finance, it's a very wider term. So finance typically is divided. So I'll just tell you how the organization structure is. So normally the finance is divided into corporate finance and business finance. So corporate finance deals with all the consolidation, preparation of balance sheet and all. So typically you would need a CPA to prepare that, right? And it also deals with mergers and acquisition, where to invest. And now with COVID and all, this profile is becoming very hot, because a lot of the loss making companies are getting acquired, and that's where we see the acquisition profile is in demand. Advisory is also good. So that's where the finance of corporate finance is there. Then you have business finance, which deals with FP&A work. So typically CPAs are hired there because of the BEC section, which is there. So you have business environment and concept section, and that covers the corporate finance, investment decision, capital budgeting, NPV, IRR, and all those sort of things. So you can easily get into the finance profile after USCPA. So we have seen a lot of the companies hiring. But to be honest, you really don't need a CPA also to go into the finance. Even a chartered accountancy is more than sufficient because if you are planning to move into the finance. But if it's an attest functions like audit and tax, I would say US CPA will play a very big role. But if you're already a chartered accountant and if your inclination is towards finance, I think even a chartered accountant is sufficient. Just because we are doing CPA, I don't want to misguide you all that nay, with CPA you will get good opportunities. To be honest, just with a C also you can get that.
So our next question is, Sir, I'm qualified CA and working in FP&A role currently. What would be more beneficial to pursue now, CPA or CMA?
Okay. Typically, a chartered accountants normally we recommend that they go with a CPA, CMA because you have already covered the management accounting aspects in your chartered accountancy qualification also. So we tend to tell that a CPA kind of make you more diverse because you kind of get more opportunities in the US based companies in their core profiles, right? Like audit and tax and accounting in the finalization and all those sort of things. Even in corporate finance, because CPA covers wider range of subjects, right? In CMA, you won't have audit and tax. So at a higher level, at a hierarchy level, if you're wanting to go into a US-based companies, then along with chartered accountancy, US CPA would have a better advantage because it makes sense to have one local and one global, right? So CPA kind of makes you more global, and it actually opens up a lot of opportunities in abroad also.
So our next question is, what are the career prospects abroad if we want to settle abroad, and is it moderate or difficult to get job opportunities abroad?
Okay, so typically with CPA, I know a lot of the ads which are coming up with CPA that you can move to Canada and all. Just to be honest, no qualification can move you anywhere, right? To go abroad like Canada and US, you need a visa, you need an IELTS exam, right? And you need certain work experience with you because freshers they will not hire. You just imagine, guys, just don't get misguided by all these institutes. You tell me if you are in a Canadian company, why will you hire a fresher from India? Right? You would rather hire their local people than hiring an Indian people with no experience. So experience plays a very very important role, I would say, and any degree doesn't have that power to shift you abroad. See, what I'm telling is after you move to abroad, then the opportunities are good. But these degrees are not helping you to move abroad. Let me be very clear with that. So people who think, "Arey, I'll do USCP and I'll move to US," no, it doesn't happen like that because there is an immigration way. You'll need to apply for visa and all. There are a lot of those things. Better good choice would be to do a CPA and parallelly you do an MBA and apply for a study visa and move to US. Right. So that is a good approach rather than getting misguided by these other institutes studying, because I've seen a lot of ads where they tell that with USCPA you can get a Canadian PR. Absolutely wrong, right? Because there's a lot of things to get a Canadian PR. There is a IELTS score. You need to get that IELTS exam done, and you need to have work experience. Age parameter is also important because in Canada after 34 years you're not allowed. So below 30 years. So there are a lot of points for this, right? And that's where the entire mechanism works. Yes, CPA can definitely be a value add, but it cannot be a degree to immigrate abroad. Let me be very very clear on that.
Our next question is, what are the chances to get placed in Dubai after CPA?
So again, as I said, you visa is a different ball game altogether. Just because of USCP, you cannot get job in Dubai. Let me be again honest here, who all are misguiding there. So a degree cannot make you to shift to locations. Yeah, after you go to Dubai, then you can get a good job. But with CPA, you cannot go to Dubai. So after you move to Dubai on any visa and all, and when you are in Dubai, then you apply. I can tell 100% CPA is much recognized there because they follow US GAAP and IFRS. Today in Vegas, all those casinos are being actually controlled by sheikhs, right, from Dubai. So they are all listed companies there, and so typically they would hire US CPAs there. But again, it will not help you to migrate. This degree is no degree can help you in migrating to any other country. After you migrate, then they will really help you to get a job there. But for migration, you need visa and all those sort of things to work in your favor.
Next question is, what is the cost for the CPA course?
Okay. So typically the cost of US CPA is 2,15,000 rupees. So that is the cost we are talking about. And the training cost normally at Samandar, and if you see the other benchmarking of the institutes about the Becker and all, you take additional 1,20,000 around. So 3,30,000 or 3,20,000 would be the overall cost of the CPA, right? And if you don't want to go without coaching and all, it would be still 2,15,000 to 2,20,000. So unlike chartered accountancy here, guys, I know a lot of them, they tell you, let us save on the coaching cost and all, but let me tell you, CPA is a very complex process. It is not an easy thing. And second thing is, it is not like if you get the books and you can study and you can pass, because it's a computerized based exam. It's not a physical exam. So you need to practice the software. You need to understand the process. There are a lot of hiccups. This is not like a pure chartered accountancy program. You take the books, take some revision books and all and study and write the exam. Because instead of saving that 1 lakh or so, you would end up paying more 5 lakhs, right? Because exam cost is very, very high. If you see the CP exam cost, 50,000 per section. So if you fail, you need to pay again 50,000 rupees. So it's better to go with a guidance with an institute. And if you don't want to go it, but you need to be very, very careful that you do it properly, all those things. My humble request would be not with we or anyone, but just go with a proper coaching institute who can guide you properly, because this is an international accounting qualification. This is not an Indian qualification. So you need to be very careful on how you're applying. So there are different state boards, your eligibility and all, your licensing, because tomorrow if you want to open your own CPA firm, so the institutes help you. So like at Simandar, we help you from start to end, your placements, your evaluation, your guidance, your licensing, your state board selection, which state board is good. So there are a lot of those guidances which we give. Again, it's an individual choice. They can go in and they can still do self study, but again, it's not an easy thing to do that in USCP and see.
Our next question is, Sir, I am a BCom fresher. Does CPA help me?
Okay, BCom freshers, see, I have not seen any CFO becoming, any BCom becoming a CFO, right? So they typically tend to have a professional qualification with us, either be a chartered accountant or company secretary or ICAI or USCPA, USCMA. So my humble request would be at any given day, please go ahead with USCPA if you're not interested in chartered accountancy or other programs. But if you're interested, I'd still tell you that you go ahead with chartered accountancy program, right? But if you don't find interest, or if you think that CA is a little longer in the duration, then I would strongly suggest that being a BCom fresher, I don't find any BCom growing up to the next level. If you want promotion, if you want to go to the leadership level, you definitely need to have a professional qualification. Without that, I think your growth is substantially limited.
Our next question is, Sir, CA, is there any exemption for CAs? Can we do it from India?
Okay, there is no exemption whatsoever. There are only four subjects in CPA, right? So there is no exemption whatsoever. You need to write only four subjects. For a chartered accountant, company secretary, ICAI, there are no exempt. This doesn't work like ACCA. I know that in ACCA they play the game with exemption and tell them to enroll. But all the US courses are very high standards, and typically they don't have any exemptions. Even for CFA, CPA, USCMA, there are no exemptions whatsoever for any of the US courses.
Our next question is, what is the overall cost of CPA and CMA if I decide to do it without coaching?
Okay, I think we already picked up. So without training, the CPA cost is 2,10,000. Without training, the USCMA cost is around 55 to 60,000. So with training, it is like 1.1, and without training, it's like half the cost, 65,000 or so.
Sir, will US CPA help placement in management consulting roles?
I think yes, McKinsey. We have seen McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group. So they are all US based consulting firms, right? So they do respect the US based qualifications. Again, going into that typically requires experience. I have not seen any freshers going into the consulting job, right? So because to get into the consulting, you'll have to be really brilliant, right? For that, you need to have certain experience. So I would say the initial plan should be to go into Big Fours, get that consulting experience, and then move to Boston or McKinsey and all those companies.
Our next question is, can you please explain the 18 months rolling window for CPA exams?
So how does it happen is like, so after you write the CPA exam, so there are four sections. For an example, FAR is the first section. So financial accounting reporting I've written in Jan and I got my result in February. From February, you have 18 months of time to pass the other three sections. If you don't clear your other three sections within those 18 months, the section which you have passed also get lapsed. So that is a very, very important point which you need to remember. So overall period is 18 months. You need to clear your CPA exam from the day you write your from the day you get your exam result of the first section. So I have written FAR in January and I get the result in February. From February you will have 18 months of time to pass the other three. Else your scores get lapsed. So that means you will need to write the exam again.
Our next question is, CPA, CMA training is to be done after the exams or during the examination?
Pardon me, CPA, CMA?
Training is to be done after the exams or during the examination?
I think the question is wrongly spelled out. They are asking about the articleship, I guess. So there is no internship requirement and all here, right? So you just need to have 1 year of work experience after you pass CPA in order to get the license, and 2 years of experience after you pass the USCMA. But that doesn't mean that you can't get a job after you pass the exam. So you don't need to wait for your experience to complete in order to apply. You'll get a congratulatory letter in case of CPA and CMA, and you can directly apply for the exam, right? So you don't need to wait for the experience.
Our next question is, for students who fall short of 150 credits and take up a bridge course to meet the requirements, are generally advised to apply for GUAM. Are there any advantages for GUAM board?
So typically, there are a lot of state boards. Guam is one of the state board, but there are a lot of other state boards also. Because what happens with this is you need to understand that how the state board requirements are. Today, that state board might be flexible. Tomorrow, they might change the rule also. So there's not like a thumb rule that Guam is the only state board or Washington is the only state board. You need to get in touch with the institutes to understand this properly. Okay, because tomorrow you might need to transfer the scores also from one state to another state. So there's a lot of those requirements and all. And one more important thing is that they don't have reciprocity also with CPA Canada. So after that, you need to be in touch with the institute to change your state board and all. At Simandar Education, we help around the students completely. We also change their state board. We also talk to them which state board is right for them and help them into the proper selection of the state board, even in the licensing as well. So I normally am a CPA license holder. So I typically sign for their experience as well. So that's why you need to be careful. You need to join an institute where the founder himself is a CPA. So in our case, I'm CPA, so I know what is going on in and out. Because a lot of the coaching institutes, you don't know the running person himself is not a CPA. So just because his CA coaching is not running, so he'll start a CPA and then you tend to go in the wrong foot of things. And suddenly you think that everything is going wrong, right? So that's where you need to be very careful to understand how it is being structured.
Will CPA exams lapse if we don't apply for license?
Yes, so there are certain state boards which you need to apply for the license within 3 years after you pass. But guys, there is so much of time. 3 years is a very good time to apply for license, right? So if you don't apply for your license within 3 years, your scores will get lapsed and you need to write the CPA exam again. So that's where you need to be very careful that you apply for your license straight away. But we also give certain students some state boards where the scores doesn't get lapsed at all. So that's where you need to consult. We see your education documents and tell you which state board is appropriate for you. In those state boards, normally the credits never lapses. So that's where also we have certain requirements and mastery over that state boards as well.
Next question is, what kind of work we are going to learn if we took CMA industrial training in articleship?
I think CMA industrial training, I think the question is more on ICWI, I guess, the Indian CMA. So the industrial training, typically what you get is more into finance. So after you pass US CMA or Indian CMA, also you go into FP&A role only. Typically, ideally, a US CMA would normally go into the vice president role of controllership. right? So that's where I would see the profiles the US CMAs would be working on. So they tend to go in the VP level or to the CFO level, right? Because they are more closer to the business because they understand business more than them. Okay.
Next question is CPA Canada doesn't have reciprocity with Guam board, right?
Yeah, that's what I've clarified, right? That's where you need to be in touch with the Samandar Education or any other coaching institute for that matter and get all those doubts clarified. We do give that state board first, and then later after the exam, we always change the state board also. So there's a flexibility, you can change the state board later as well. So you don't need to worry on that.
Next question is, sir, if want to work in the US, Canada, and do CPA US, then we should first get work visa and then only go for CPA, or after doing CPA, we can get working visa.
So that's where I clarified, right? Because of the misguidance of other institutes, a lot of them are thinking that with USCPA you can go to Canada. That is not right, right? USCPA is very popular in Canada, or Canadian CPA is popular in Canada, but it is not a qualification for you to migrate to Canada. Please understand, you need to write an IELTS exam, you need to undergo immigration check, and a lot of those things are there. Please don't be misguided by these institutes. Our humble request is to always go for US CPA. My request would be to finish off CPA, join Big Four, join Deloitte EY for 2 3 years, then through Deloitte EY internally move to that country. That is very much possible. Or you work in Deloitte for 2 years, get the work experience, parallelly do an IELTS, and after that move to Canada. Right. So your US CPA will help you getting job opportunities in Big Fours also. Right. There you work for 2 3 years and then move to Canada or US, because work experience is a very, very important criteria while moving to abroad.
Next question is, will Simandar Education be helping for verifying experience to get license? US, yeah,
So,
that's it.
as I already said you, I'm myself a licensed CPA, right? So we do help in verifying the CPA license. If you can check on LinkedIn, we have done for a lot of the people who were not from Simandar also. I have verified a lot of their licensing and all. So you don't need to worry actually. Here we start to end, there is a complete support. And being a chartered accountant myself, right? So I understand the pulse also the students who want to start their own CPA firm as well. So we are also working on our that model also, where you can open your CPA firm here in India and you can become that entrepreneurs also. It's not about getting a job always. So you can start your own CPA firm, get those tax returns outsourced. So we are helping them in getting those licenses also. Not just verifying the experience, but also giving them a roadmap how they can start their own CPA firm here in India.
Next question is, US CPA versus CPA Australia.
I mean, I don't find any reason why I should do a CPA Australia till I have not migrated to Australia, right? So if you're not going to Australia, I will not recommend CPA Australia, because see, in India also we don't have a single Australian company. That itself tells you that what is the job opportunities for CPA Australia. But you have plenty and tons of US companies here in India. So US tend to dominate in each and every country. By GDP also, US is the largest country, right? So that's where I would say US qualification is more acceptable and recognized. I will not tell superior and all those words, but in sheer terms of opportunities and recognition, I think USCPA any given day is better, or USCMA also for that matter.
So our next question is, do Simandhar Education provides placement assistance for CPA?
Okay, so we are tied up with Deloitte, we are tied up with EY, we are tied up with BDO, we are tied up with these companies, PwC. I tend to work with them for entire recruitment and all. So I would say that there is 99% chance that you would be getting placed. Even those who are pursuing CP also have placed them. But now then what happens like that is, a lot of the students then come to me on LinkedIn and tell, sir, first provide placement, then I'll join for CPA, right? So that is not fair. Because we are not a recruitment company, right? So we are a training institute. Yes, I do a lot of hard work in placing all the people, because I think that if you place one student, you actually settle the entire family. So that is my responsibility to place that. But then again, I don't want to give a guarantee for that, right? Because I can put interviews and all. End of the day, it's a student who need to give those things. So that's where we have a lot of grooming workshops. We have our Toastmasters club in Simandar Education. We have a lot of these clubs where we groom the people for the interviews and all. We have Kiki Fin, which is a separate segment where we do the recruitment for various companies. So we are also the placement agencies for various companies as well, right? So that's where we enjoy. We are the only, I think, institute who have a separate website for finance and accounting recruitment for the students. So right now I have confined that only to Simandar students who are enrolled with Simandar education. Because of the COVID thing, I want that my students get that advantage first, right? So that's why I'm not helping the outsiders currently for that matter. But last year we have been helping outsiders also who were not enrolled from Simandar and have passed CPA. But this year onwards, we have been a little strict on that, and we have been focusing only on our people to get placed.
Next question is there any attempts for the CPA just like other professional courses?
I don't think so. There is no attempts. So you can write CPA number of times. Neither the companies will ask you also which attempt you have passed, because US companies are very smart. So they don't see that your first attempt, second attempt, like Indian companies. So they don't kind of, I would say, discriminate on people on the basis of their attempts. So in CPA CMA, you don't have all such crap.
So is BCom honors plus US CMA enough for a good long-term growth?
I would suggest that after USCMA, please do USCPA also. Just that you will have diverse job opportunities. You will have job opportunities with USCMA, but they are very limited. Please understand, this is an Indian market which is driven by chartered accountancy. So always better to have two qualification, to be very careful in order to compete with a chartered accountant, right? So that's where you will need to kind of ensure that after USCMA also you do a CPA, so that you have more job opportunities and more, I would say, profile. There will be more diversity in the profiles. That's all.
What is the scope of practicing in Indian CMA?
Indian CMA, like we can practice, in US CMAs, we can't practice. And if a question is asked on what is Indian CMA scope, I think a lot of the cost audits are being done by chartered accountants only. So I don't say that I don't think so. There's a lot of scope in practicing for Indian CMA. You should ideally look for job opportunities, because I have not seen people who are getting successful in the Indian CMA practice, because a lot of the work which Indian CMA is doing attesting, that are being done by chartered accountants also. So that's where I would suggest that you do an additional course and get good job.
Our next question is what kind of signing power given to Indian CMA practicing?
I don't think so. Only the cost audits they can sign. Rest others, I've not seen that. I'm not a Indian cost accountant, so I don't know. I really don't have idea. But what I can tell is, just by seeing the market, I've not seen Indian CMAs practicing Indian certified management accountants a lot. So they are not so there in the market, and the opportunities are also not so high, to be honest.
Next question is once selected a state board, can we change state after different exams? Yeah, that is the question.
Yes, you can definitely change the state, but that's why you need to be very good with what institute you select. That person should have a good mastery over the state boards, good mastery over the process. He should know what is CPA license. He himself should be a CPA for that first matter, right? So that's where your selection of institute will play a very, very big role here. And definitely you can change it, but then you will need to be very careful, because once you have selected a state board, you will have to undergo all the four sections. You cannot change the state board after one exam. Then you will need to rewrite the exam again from that state board.
Our next question is will getting the CPA degree help get a significant hike to a chartered accountant in India?
Again, don't want to misguide you. I don't think so there is any significant hike here, because the Indian chartered accountants are really awesome. I myself an Indian chartered accountant and a USCPA. What it does is, it makes your resume looks beautiful, right? The opportunities increases tremendously, because then you have a CPA. You're not competing with a chartered accountant then, because you are already having an additional qualification in your bucket. And company also thinks that, okay, he has US GAAP knowledge, he have Indian GAAP knowledge, so he will be my better pick, because I can make him work in all those profiles also. So that's where you will be the first preferred among all of them. But in the package, in the compensation wise, 1 or 2 lakhs might be the advantage, but not a significant hike as such. Again, don't get misguided by these institutes. So if you're just coming for a compensation hike, For that matter, you should not do any qualification, because qualification is really not there for compensation. It is there for job, I can agree, but for compensation, I would like to disagree with that, because your compensation is typically defined by your responsibilities, how much ownership you are taking in that company, how good you are performing in that company. You might still start at 3 lakhs to 4 lakhs package, and you might see in 5 years you might go to 25 lakhs to 30 lakhs also. It is all depending on performance. Your job, your qualification can only help you in get a good job or an entry, right? But your progress will be determined by your experience and the way how you work in that company.
Our next question is, please explain CPA course overview. Is there future scope of CPA in India?
110% yes. As I said you, the scope of CP is tremendous, because a lot of the US based companies are coming. Previously, Deloitte used to outsource 25% of work. Now they are almost outsourcing 50% of work. As you have seen the Deloitte India statement which have come, the CEO which have given, they are planning to hire 1 lakh people, right? So that's a huge number over the next 3 4 years. And there is a huge demand for US CPAs, because there are not many CPAs qualifying in India. So even though 300 to 400 CPAs in India they qualify, and there's a huge requirement in companies in Big Fours, I see that there's a huge market for CP in the next 4 to 5 years, and you must any given day I think CPA CMA would play a good role.
Next question is, will CPA ask help for fresher to get job in India? I see companies demand experience. If yes, how much salary can a person expect?
So let me tell you guys, we have placed our students, right? So our alumni, you can watch the Simandar Education YouTube channel. So we had Abhi, Priyal, and all these guys who were our students. They were CA intermediate. We placed them in EY with a package of 7 lakhs. So they are just freshers, just CA semi-qualified. They have just passed CPA. That's all, right? So even a BCom fresher, we have placed in Virtusa at 7 lakhs. So these are not like 3 lakh, 4 lakh. We are placing them. We are placing them at a good compensation at 7.5 lakhs packages. So getting a 50 lakhs, 50,000 per month within 8 months of your thing, it's at par with chartered accountancy compensation. Today, even a chartered accountant's average salary is 7 to 8 lakhs. So for that matter, we are placing all the freshers and all also at that packages. And I've been fighting with companies to place us at 10 and a half lakhs also. I placed one of the student at 12 lakhs package also. He was just a US CMA, right? So if you have the skills, I can place you once you are qualified, right? So that is not, but you need to have good communication skills, good presentation skills. The companies will pay premium for you. Okay. So it's not like that you don't get job opportunities in India. There are tons of companies hiring in India. You can just put it in Naukri. You can put it on LinkedIn, CPA opportunities. You yourself will get your answer. You don't need an answer from my side.
Our next question is there scope for US taxation in MNCs in India?
110%, whatever work which is getting outsourced to India is US taxation only. That's where enroll agent, right, is becoming such an important qualification, which is nothing but the US tax qualification, right? So the US tax work, if you see in Ahmedabad, in Mumbai, in Chennai, Bangalore, there are tons of CPA firms which have opened up, and they are doing too many US taxation work. And you should, to be honest, you should excel in US taxation, because you can do a lot of the US based taxation returns sitting in India. Here for GST, they pay you 300, 400 rupees, right? In US, they pay you $300 to $200. Even if you do 20 to 30 US tax returns, you are ending up making around almost $10,000 to $12,000, which is roughly around what, 8 lakhs to 9 lakh rupees. So that's where I think US tax have tremendous job opportunities in India. Enroll agent is your qualification. If you're not able to do CPA properly, we do provide EA also. So EA is the US tax certified course which is being given by IRS, right? So that is also very, very good course. If you're not able to afford CPA, I would say EA also is a good course for US tax, to be honest.
Our next question is, what is the salary of a CPA fresher?
That's what I've said, 6.5 lakhs. So 6 to 7 lakhs is the average salary. And that is where, don't get again misguided by other institutes telling that 30 lakh, 40, $50,000 in US. You are not going to US. Please let us be very, actually that is in US, $50,000 is India ka 8 lakh rupees. right? 8 to 7 lakh rupees. So don't get $50,000, $60,000 you're getting in US. If you multiply with 70 rupees, you will get around 40, 50 lakhs. That is all bullshit. Okay. So even in US, the taxation is high, the charges are high. You will end up making saving only 5 lakh to 6 lakhs per year. That is what is there in India also. So the fresher typically gets 6 to 7 lakhs package per annum. They will not go below 6, and I have never placed a student below 6. Even if that company is tell also, I'll not send them their profiles. 6 lakhs is what I go with, and 7.5, and sometimes we have set it at 10.5, 11 lakhs packages, but that are very exceptions. You'll not get that every day.
So our next question is, so I have completed BCom in 2020 and currently pursuing MCom previous and also CA Inter, already given 4 attempts and again going for a CA Inter exam in May. Can you please guide me?
I would suggest you don't go for CA intern. Please do another course, if not CPA or CMA or anything, but do something different because you've already given 3 to 4 attempts. It's better to take a pause. I'm not telling you to quit CA. You just take a pause, do CPA, CMA, or CFA, or any other course. Not that only this courses. You do some course which has employability. I take CPA because the CPA employability or CMA employability is good. So for that matter, you can do that course, get a job, and then till lifetime keep doing CA. Who will stop you?
Is it better to meet the 150 credits requirement first and then join CPA course or register for the course and do a bridge course simultaneously?
It's always better to register for a course and do a bridge course simultaneously and enroll for the institute rather than waiting and wasting 2 years more. You don't know in 2 years more how many people will become CPAs also, because this is such a popular qualification today, right? After 2 3 years, you might not know that that kind of opportunities also you should get it, right? Today they are hiring like anything. In next 2 3 years they'll hire like anything, but after that you will get some demand supply correction. So that's where we want all of them to start immediately and pass this sooner in next 1.5 to 2 years.
Our next question is, do you think that after having experience of 10 plus years in finance and accounts, CPA degree can help to have career edge to an Indian CMA?
I think definitely yes, because if you want to go into a CFO role, you will need to have an accounting qualification. So I have not seen, as I said, you like any CFO without a professional qualification. So for that matter, CPA would definitely help you to go into the leadership team. So that's where you can book a slot in leadership team, I would say. That's where a CPA would really help. 10 years, 11 years. We have been placing 18 years, 17 years experience guys also in Simandar education. Again, there are a lot lesser requirements, but yes, there is these things are also happening.
Our next question is, can we start CPA after BCom honors plus CA intermediate or semi qualified CA after articleship?
110% yes. So BCom gives you 90, C Enter gives you 30, 120. So you can immediately sit for the CPA exam. You don't need to delay anything. You can do parallelly CA and CPA together. See, previously when CA was been done, CMA and CS was also introduced. So it's not like people used to do CMA and they used to leave CA. They used to do CA. Along with that, they used to do CPA also. So I will not tell you to discontinue unless and until you have written 4 to 5 attempts on chartered accountancy or 3 to 4 attempts, then you can discontinue it, or I would say pause it. But if you haven't written a single attempt, I would say do CA and CPA parallelly, like you do CA and CS or CA or ICWI. What is wrong in that?
Okay, so our next question is, can CMA interqualified students do articleship in Big Four?
No, they can't do it.
Next question is, I have discontinued CA doing job in finance stream. Is CPA helpful? How would you recommend?
110% yes. I've already covered that question. In finance, definitely CPA would help because it is having the subjects of finance and accounting also. So all the shared services and all, they are being hired in the corporate finance profile, right? But I would say 80% to 70 to 80% goes into audit and tax. 20 to 25% I would say go into finance. Let me be honest on that. The profiles are more for audit, tax, advisory, consulting, but finance, there are opportunities, but they're very selective in numbers.
So our next question is, what exactly are state boards in CPA?
So state boards, so if you see that guys, every state have certain different requirements for CPA. So the CPA exam is actually being governed by 55 states. Every state have their own eligibility requirements. So AICPA have the powers to only conduct the examination, but to sit for the CPA exam, you need the state board. So there are around 55 state boards in US. So all the state boards have different requirements. We at Simandar Education tell you that which state board is perfectly fine for you. You can also do your due diligence and find it out, and that is also very easy. It's not such a rocket science, but just that if you go with institute, that headache is not there, and you can only focus on your studies. So this state board will determine your eligibility, and they will tell you, okay, Sripal Jain is eligible to sit for the CPA exam. And it is not like that if I'm doing from Washington, I'm a good CPA. If I'm doing from Montana, I'm a bad CPA. Not like that. It is a uniform CPA examination. So you do from any state board, it really doesn't matter. What matters is you need to get the eligibility and pass the CPA exam.
Our next question is, what is the value of credits in CPA?
So what is the value of credits to sit for the CPA exam? You need a minimum of 120 credits. So what are these credits? Every year of your graduation is converted into certain number of units known as credits. So 1 year of graduation gives you 30, 2 year of graduation gives you 60, 3 year of your graduation gives you 90. So by default, Indian education is 15 years education, US follows 16 years. So if you see in US, that's why they ask 120, but with a BCom we get 90. So you don't need to worry. You can enroll for a bridge course and still sit for the CPA exam, even though you have only 90 credits. It's not that you need to have 120 only and then only you can write. So if you're just a plain BCom, you can sit for the CPA exam, and that's how your credits also parallelly you can wait. You don't need to wait for the bridge course to complete. You can parallelly sit beside this bridge course and finish it off.
So our next question is, does CPA require a regular degree along with CA qualification, or CA qualification alone will do?
So again, there's a lot of misguidance by other institute that only chartered accountancy is sufficient. You don't need to have a graduation because of the limited knowledge which they have. So I would like to tell you guys, there are only few state boards which accept chartered accountancy qualification, and without BCom also you can write. But we will need to see your documents because they don't accept every chartered accountants also. If you had a past chartered accountancy 10 years back, 5 years back, so every year chartered accountancy is having a different value in USCPA. So I will not tell that if you're just a chartered accountant, you will be eligible. But yes, if you give your documents to us, we can see that and we can tell you that, okay, you are eligible and sit. So there are state boards not denying that just with a CA without a degree also, you can sit for the CPA exam. But again, we need to see the documents. It's not so easy what it looks like.
Next question is, what is the passing percentage of CPA?
The passing percentage typically is 55 to 60%. I know in CA it is 9 to 10%, but in USCPA it is 55 to 60%. So out of 100 people, 50 people pass this exam. But what is a minimum score you need to get to pass the exam is 75%. You need to get 3/4 correct. Unlike chartered accountancy, you just score 40, get aggregate 50 and just pass the exam. This is not like that. You need to score minimum of 75%, and that's why it's not so tough also. It's just an MCQ and descriptive based examination. It's not at all a tough exam, to be honest.
Our next question is, sir, can we use the CPA designation for lifetime if we don't apply for a CPA license?
You cannot do that. You cannot put beside your name USCPA. You will always have to put USCPA brackets mein license pending. You cannot put beside your name USCPA till you don't get a license. You will need to apply for license. We help around with CPA license also. So we work with AICPA and NASBA closely. I have been the content member team of AICPA and NASBA. So I know each and every one there. So to get you a license is not such a difficult thing. Okay. But you should apply for license. You cannot put CPA name there without a license. Till you don't have license, you cannot use it. Once you have license, you can do it for lifetime.
Our next question is, what's your view on scope of US CMA in India in coming future? Will it decrease or will it increase?
I think every course increases, decreases. There is a demand and supply for each and every course. Even after a chartered accountant, people don't get job. Okay, so scope of job and all has nothing to do with the qualification. So once you are qualified, if you're skilled enough, every company will hire you. If you're not skilled, you're not good in talking, you're not good in your basics, in your domain, I think no one will hire. So for a good person, there is always a demand. For a bad person, there is always a shortage.
Which type of BCom is beneficial for US CMA? BCom BPS or BCom honors?
BCom honors is good. It's tough, and that's where it is really good.
How much is the complete cost and time for being CPA after CA? Assume you will clear in November 21.
Okay, so assuming that you will clear in November 21, so the overall cost would be like, as I said, you 3,25,000, including the training and everything. So what you would do is you would divide it by, so you don't need to spend all that 3 lakh immediately, right? It is being divided and apportioned between 4 subjects. So 2,15,000 is divided by 4 subjects, and 1,10,000 to 1,20,000 is the upfront fees which you pay to the training center to get the materials, to get the access and all those sort of things. Okay, so the overall cost would come closer to 3.1 to 3.2. November 2021 is highly ambitious. I would say just add 2 months more, and February 2022 should be your target to complete the CP exam if you are starting now. So take an average of 10 to 12 months.
Next question is, what is the age limit for CPA?
There is no age limit for CPA.
Next question is, does CA course help in CPA curriculum?
110%. See, I am myself an example. So I'm a chartered accountant and I'm a US CPA. So my chartered accountancy basics, the base which I formed in CA definitely helps in CPA. So even if you're a semi-qualified CA also, you'll pass CPA very easily, right? Even for that matter, BCom also will pass CPA exam easily because then they don't know anything. When you don't know anything, that is the best way to study everything, right? When you know something, then you kind of very confused what to do, which concept to apply. So I would say a plain BCom has a higher chances of passing the CP exam. And if you're a CS semi-qualified, you need to be very careful that you don't put all those concepts here in CP also, right?
I'm in Nirma University, first year, Ahmedabad. My university will give 150 credits after graduation from BCom honors. Can I give CPA right after my graduation?
It cannot happen. No university can give you 150 credits. I think you have done it wrongly. So any BCom which you do is 3 years BCom program. So that would give you 90 credits if Nirma University is NAC, and if you're first division, then you get an additional 30 credits. So you'll get 120 credits. So you'll not get 150, but still you can write the exam. Okay, so you don't need to worry on that. So you don't need to wait for 150 or 120 to complete. Even though you're just a BCom, also you can still sit for the CP exam and register for a bridge course parallel. You don't need to wait for the bridge course to complete. Okay.
Next question is, my CA Inter first group cleared. Then can I apply for CMA Inter via direct entry?
Uh, I'm not sure actually on that, because here we are talking about US CMA, not Indian CMA. So I think the title on the YouTube channel should be USCP and US CMA. So I'll have to skip this one.
Next question is, what is the better combo? CA with CPA or CA with CMA?
CA with CPA any given day.
Next question is, how important is my work-ex in the CPA exam?
So, see, you don't need to worry. Once you pass the CPA exam, you'll get a congratulatory letter. But based on that congratulatory letter, you'll get a job. So, you don't need to worry that you need to have 1 year of work experience, because that is a requirement to get a license. So, without a license, also, you can get a job. So, once you get a job, then you can, after that 1, 2 years, you can apply for license. Based on the congratulatory letter, you will get a job. So, you don't need to worry for that.
Next question is, sir, did you give all 4 sections together?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't give that, right? So I went by section because it's an costly exam. So you don't want to be hero and play heroics there, right? If you fail anything, then you need to pay 50,000 more. So I was well aware of that. I gave section by section and completed it. I didn't give all 4 together because the cost is also high, right? Why do you want to pay upfront? There is a time value of money concept, right? So why do you want to lose the interest on that? So you give 33 months, 1 month section. Who is stopping you? Okay, in 12 months you couldn't do. You will do it in 14 months. Who will come and check? And who will tell me that I should complete in 4 months or 3 months? Why there is a rush? I don't understand. You can do it in a very organized manner. Take 1 year time. Study as if you are studying very joyfully. There's no rush. Don't take additional pressure. Okay.
Is there any negative marking in either CPA or CMA?
There is no negative marking in CPA or CMA. It's a completely unbiased exam, I would say. So all those Indian things and all are not there. Array 1 foot deduct kar denge. All those crap is not there in this exam. There's no negative marking in CPA and CMA.
Any study suggestions for people who work full time?
Yes, so we have almost 50% of our audience in Simandar Education, which is our institute for CP and CMA. We have 50% of the crowd working professional. My advice normally would be to study 1 hour daily for them. And on Saturdays and Sundays, they can study triple time, 3 hours to 4 hours. Right? Sir, why 1 hour? See, you can't study more than 1 hour. Let us be very honest, because you're working also on a weekday, which is a busy time. So take every quarter, one section. Overall, 12 months may complete the entire exam. Don't be in a rush. You might see that within 1 month, you might only complete one chapter also. So don't be in a rush. Don't get panicked. Study slowly, steadily, because after a long time, you're starting studying, right? Working professionals. So you need to be very patient and don't be hard on yourself. Nahi, aaj main 10 घंटे पढ़ लेता, 20 घंटे, and I'll acquire everything. It doesn't work like that, okay? So you need to be very slow and study. Once you get the grip on the subject, then increase the time. Now here at Simandar, normally people wake up at 4 o'clock. So we have morning 4 a.m. initiatives. So we were the only institute in India who have done morning 4 a.m. revision classes, including the entire faculty of us woke up at 4 o'clock. And today also we are doing that 21 days program we have. So you can also participate in those quizzes and know where you are placed into, right? So on LinkedIn, we have that 4 a.m. initiatives. You can follow that at Simandar Education page and participate in those quizzes. Wake up early morning. I think working professionals, it's an easy exam to pass, to be honest.
If I fail a section of CPA, should I move to the next section or retake the one I failed?
I would strongly suggest that if you fail any section, you should give that section immediately within 1 month. Why, sir? Because you already are fresh with that subject, right? I will never recommend you to go with another section which you have no knowledge on. It's better that when you fail in any subject, write that exam. Don't cry. Don't tell your friend, 30 friends I failed, 50 friends. No one is actually bothered. First of all, you must understand that no one literally cares for you. Till you get that straight in your head, you'll be better prepared and write your exam immediately. Don't waste your time telling others, "Arey, I failed" and all. It's better you write your exam immediately again, because the exams are every month. Like in CA, we have only two time, right? June and December, November, right? May and November, and now it was January, February. But typically, CPA exams happen every month. So whenever you fail, immediately write that month only and close it off. So don't be in a rush or don't start another section or waste your time talking about your negatives to people. Don't play this sympathy game. No one can sympathize with anyone. It's just a fake thing. Okay.
Okay, so the next question is, in 3-4 months time enough when we are planning to give a section along with job and we get education loan and pursue CPA?
110% yes. So we are tied up with a lot of our loan partners. So that's a 0% interest free loan which we give. And for the training fees, I don't know about the exam fees and all. Normally you don't get, but for at least training fees, we have a 0%. There's some sort of processing fees of 3,000 or so. But there is a 0% interest free loan you can tie up, and you can make the payment over the period of 12 to 24 months. Right. So that is already there. Second, for working professional, I would say every quarter, one section, 3 to 4 months, write one section. Don't be in a rush to complete all the four. It will never happen. You'll just waste your money. That's all.
If I only do CPA, what are my employment opportunities in India?
I have already covered that. So Deloitte, EY, you have Capgemini, you have Cognizant, you have BDO, Rise, you have Grant Thornton. So a lot of these companies, even in Ahmedabad, there are so many CPA firms, Eisner, Citrin. So I can name Amazon, Cognizant. So these are so many companies, Accenture, World Bank. So I can just keep naming on and on. MX, American Express. So a lot of those opportunities are in India. USCPA doesn't mean that you will only get in US. In India itself, I would say half US have come to India only. And that's where you are getting a lot of job opportunities in India. Right?
Next question is there any sequence for sections?
Sequence, you go with FAR first. If you are not a working professional, FAR, audit, BEC and rec. If you're a working professional, start with the easier subject because you don't want to fail by starting a tougher section first. So start with BEC is a easier section among all, then audit, then FAR, then BEC, then regulation. That could be one of the flow or one of the sequence.
Next question is, sir, for people who are not working professionals, then how much time should they devote daily for US CPA?
14 hours, 15 hours, like you used to study for chartered accountancy and complete it within 4 months. But if you want to study very nicely, slowly, and steadily, so devote 5 to 6 hours and try to complete it in 9 to 10 months. So if you're not a working professional, I would say 9 to 10 months should be your deadline to complete the CPA course. Again, but don't put a deadline because I don't want you to have pressure. Joyfully study the subject. There is no rush. We are here only. I will place you. You don't need to worry. Okay.
So I think that is it, like the questions for today.
Thank you so much. Actually, I think that was a 1 hour rapid fire round going left and right for me. So thank you so much, guys, for attending it. I hope you liked it, and thank you, Prachi, for moderating it. I hope that
Thank you
there
so
was a
much,
value
sir.
addition. There was a little bit of value addition with this 1 hour.
Yes, sir, definitely. Thank you so much for your time.
Guys, you can reach me out on LinkedIn. You can follow us, Simandar Education page. We are on YouTube, we are on LinkedIn. So you can always reach us out on YouTube. So we have a separate channel of YouTube, Simandar Education. That's our institute name. So you can always get in touch with us.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you everyone for